that's what's up with my screen. It's unplugged. Yeah, I'm just going to start a little bit early, and I'm adding some content to the game that I can use. So hopefully that goes all right. How do I pop out the chat? Right. Oh God. Yeah, I hit the gear icon. Twitch is being real stupid. Oh, there we go. Pop out. Popeye! Okay, put that on the other screen. So what I'm trying to do now is make... so at the moment I had this debug system for... power, which was no good. So I'm going to kind of cover off on how I'll make... how I make items for this just before we start. So this can be called RTG. So we've got that. And Peter can tidy this up later on. In fact, no, I don't want to use the active vent because it's got a thing in there. Water heater, here we go. Whoops. So this guy is going to be an RTG so that I can generate basically unlimited power for the dev stream, because otherwise I have to link up the solars and stuff and it gets a real pain. So I'm just going to make a really crappy quick RTG. Which is a radio something thermal generator. But yeah, until we start, happy to take any questions in the chat. Whoops. Yeah, it is going to be kind of like Space Station 13. Using Unity to make it. What do I want to do? Let's triple poly. So yeah, I'm just before we start, for those joining, I'm just making a RTG for the stream. It's just a dev item. You guys probably can't even see. What's going on? I can barely see the screen. So I use Max, but actually I'm not doing a lot of the art anymore. So Peter, one of our artists who's actually ex-Bohemia, he's doing most of the art now. So I just want to quickly get this done before the dev stream starts. So I'm using Max. So I've never really used Blender. I guess I'm just too lazy to learn. I did learn Maya the other day though. So hopefully I get this done. I've got 40 minutes. No worries. My UI's gone really small on me. I don't know why. That doesn't look right. It's starting to look like an RTG. Where's close? Cap holes. Here we go. Have I said anything? Oh no, it just muted itself. I didn't have it plugged in. Let me just see if this is working. Yeah, it should be working. Can you go on the stream, Steph, and let me know if you think it's going? Also, my screen is screwed up. I just realized that people can't see half of what I'm doing. I don't know why, but for some reason it's truncating half half of what I'm doing, but that's fine. This is just like pre-fun fun. I don't want it to stick out the sides. That's good enough for government work. And what do I want to do now? I want to attach it to this guy. Lol. Now I want to grab all these edges. Whoops, not do that. I want to bevel them. So I'm just doing this as a temporary measure. Peter, our senior artist, will go through and make this stuff better. Shit. It's been a while since I've been in Max, actually. Since we had Peter, I pretty much didn't do a lot. I don't know why it's getting weird on that bit. That's why I'm gonna. Son of a bitch. Don't judge me for this. I'm just trying to do it as quick as possible. Tidy it up. Although up with this bit I will not put. Shit. Now this will be the old, man, I can barely read that. I did something weird with my screen, and so everything's like tiny. I don't know why. And this thing will be always on, so I don't need to add a lot of complicated stuff. So the way it works is we have to make a whole bunch of like extra stuff for it. So I'll reset. So this is going to be part of the modding suite. You're going to be able to do all this kind of stuff, and with the game, pretty easy. And this is Max. So yeah, the idea is we want our like users to be able to make all this stuff super easy. So to give you an example, now If I copy these things here, power data connection, and I duplicate these, or maybe not. These in here, hide them. So we kind of make a lot of helpers to load stuff in the game. So you can't see it, but I've actually named this some simple attributes to the naming conventions. When it gets imported into Unity, our game automatically does stuff with it. So I'm gonna, oops, had it toggle to lock. So this will define like the collision of the object. So I'll make these see-through so that we can see what's going on. So we've named that. This thing up here, this box up the top here, is going to be where the power comes in, and it tells the game to expect that power is coming from this bit here. The rest of it's just normal like collision and stuff like that. And now I just need to check that my pivots are all good. So blue has to point down for that. That has to point up. And let's hide you. And this guy needs to be rotated. And we should be all good. So this is a very simple object. And actually this is going to be a power connection only. So now I'm going to export this. I've got to remember where to put it. Quite by accident, I'm hiding my folder structure. We've done some kind of crappy things with how we've laid up our folder structure for Stationeers, so we'll tidy that up later on. Okay, so I've made the object, so now I'm going to throw up Unity.
And do you want to change the name of the string to Stationeers and the date or anything?
Why did it not say the date?
It just says RocketWerkz Spaceman.
Oh yeah, that's so I didn't have I'm going to search for the game. Spaceman as part of, so Steph is telling me off for not having my thing set up properly. So we're in Unity now, and to show the ease with which we make new items, the first thing I'm going to do is, because Visual Studio will have to restart, I wish I could have more real estate to show stuff off because I have to switch between stuff. I think you can actually make key setups. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a new object that's going to be our RTG. So I'm going to call it a radioscopic. Is it radioscopic? Well, I think it's radioscopic thermal generator. I think that's spelled right. Yeah, there are cursor artifacts. Hold on. I think I have to, oh god, what did I do? I'm just going to remove Unity as a screen. I'm going to re-add it. Oh, nearly added my Discord. That would have been bad. Is Visual Studio going to be screwed up? Visual Studio. So yeah, I'll stream the game proper shortly, just while we're waiting for everything to get it set up. While I was doing stuff, I figured I would show people how stuff's going. So I hope I spelled that right. So we're going to inherit that from electrical. Yeah, I think so. Let's just double check. Yeah, I think from electrical. So now we've got that ready, and so the aim is to prepare this all sort of stuff for modding, so that people can really easily bring stuff in, modding wise. So now I go and I find the model that I made somewhere in here. RTG, where are you? Where are you, RTG? I'm going to make this the size of the stream. Begins with there we go, RTG. So when I bring this object in, you can see it's like it's boxes and stuff like that. So what I actually do is I add the script. It's already started to figure out the sizes, and there's heaps of errors in here. So the first thing I do is I populate the colliders, and it goes through and it reads what those colliders are, and it converts the objects based on rules and stuff like that. So you can see that already it started to prepare the objects, so it collapsed that other collider down. So we tried to make things really simple like that. And then we don't need an animator for this, and there's no slots, and there's no interactables, so we don't need to worry about any of this. Populate open ends, so you can see now it's read what's there, and it's added in a connection so that power can come in there. And then and here it's like, well, how's this going to be? It's getting all. So we tried to add a lot of editor tools to deal with all this stuff. So radio. I'm just going to call this an RTG here. It's not paintable, so we don't need to worry about that. This is the grid size where it goes. I think I want bounds. I should probably take a look at another object, make sure I'm configuring it the same. So I want face mount, grid, block custom, Y, bounds grid ratio, and I want collision set to everything. Name it correctly, save it off, make a copy of it, and call it item RTG so that we can put it on. And for this, I can remove that guy. Remove that. Remove the animator. Oh, right. Yeah, good call. Sorry about that, everybody. Whack, yo. Blinky, blinky. This feature. So now I add, I think it's called a constructor. There we go. And it's like, eh. So this is going to be called an item RTG, and basically it will build this object. So we have we try and standardize as much as we can as possible, and so it's got all these. It's like, do we need to split this? Well, no, max quantity 1, so it shouldn't need any splitting stuff. We've fixed the gravity setting. We'll drag this into the scene here, generate a thumbnail. apply all that, and that should be good. So that will create the structure, and then in here, now it should have building states. Should have picked it up, but it hasn't, so I'll just do it manually. We just drag this in here, which gives us the entry tool in here, and the building tip, we'll just steal a building tip from this guy. Steve, can you tell me when it's time to do proper stream? Because I should probably show off the game at that point. But this is kind of demonstrating how quick it is for me to add a new thing to the game. Where is it? Building tip, here we go. So I've got rid of all the errors, which is great. And delete that. And now the most important part, testing it. I've been checking out the yeah, it's trying to draw something that doesn't exist. That's what that flickering is. So actually, I'll just make a new world. Dynamic create building supplies. So we have voice controlled commands, which is really handy. So let's just verify this works. Item RTG. So here's a little RTG. I don't know why the collider is off center. Oh, I do. That's bad. So you can see our little RTG is already in game there, but we've got a little bug with the with it being off center because of the collider, which is naughty. So I'll center that, and then I'll re-export it and re-import it. Export selected. Most importantly, save. Whoop, and it's probably going to have a little mini panic attack. So now I'm going to go into here. Going to parent you, and I'm just going to kind of do this quickly. Oh dear, I just clicked on something I shouldn't have. Go away, Visual Studio. Nobody likes you. Oh god, I think I just opened up the model in 3D in Visual Studio. Not cool, Visual Studio. Not cool at all. Yes, I know my license expired.
You do have a license.
Yeah, so the whole idea of the project was that you get stuff in the game really, really fast. Here we go, structure RTG. So what we're going to do is, because I don't want to have to reset up the whole object all over again, I'm just going to drag in the box collapse, and I'm going to delete the original box collider, and then I'm going to click populate colliders again, and it will find it. And this should have off-centered the collider properly, hopefully. Either that, or maybe I need to have, yeah, maybe it was the base object. Actually, no, I think about it. Maybe it was the base object I wanted to do. Because it's really going to annoy me. Anyway, doesn't matter. So that's the RTG, but it's not doing anything at the moment. So what I'm going to do is here in Visual Studio, and gosh, I bet you can't read that. That's probably extremely unreadable. It is for me, at least. I'm going to make this the same size here. I'm having terrible trouble with my stream. Visual Studio.
You
Dev
run
streaming is hard.
and Simon will tell you when it's 1 o'clock.
Hi. Blinky blinky. So, in here, I'm going to add the behaviors that we want to generate power. So I am going to steal off the solar. So I'm going to look at the solar, and I'm going to see, I'm not going to see the solar at all. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to look for generation rate, get generated power. So this function, if I do a little quick see, find all references. Oh my god, take forever, Visual Studio. Wow, Visual Studio is like dying. So, in here, this is going to be used by the electricity thread to figure out how much power should this little bad boy make. And we're just going to hard code it, and it's in watts. Screw it. So that's 100 watts. No, 100 kilowatt RTG. I know, right? I do have my visual. I need to do. I'm getting a new computer soon, so I haven't really bothered about it too much. But see how easy. We used inheritance, and there was a big discussion about this on Reddit, just for pure simplicity. I really want to go with simplicity, so we'll wait for Unity to chug over and do its thing. There we go. So now this device should actually output power for us. And I haven't really tested it, so this will be a good little test of it. See if it works. I need to make sure unlimited power is turned off on. Yep, unlimited energy is turned off. Cool. So let's go on New World. Dynamic crate building supplies. Dynamic crate building supplies. So let's build it ourselves. So you can see we've got a lot of, those people who had seen the stream last time will notice there's a lot of new art gone in. A lot of new art gone in. So like, we're starting to do work on making the tools look cooler, and actually, we've made a lot more stuff paintable. So there's that. And you can do cool stuff like, I'll save this for when I start the stream proper. For now, we're just testing out this RTG. Item RTG. Item RTG. So let's plop this guy down here. And let's get item kit battery. Item kit battery. So this is something I made just the other day. So let's plop this here. So this is actually a battery, and it will just magically be on at the moment. So you can see we've got input, output, and the battery has no power in it. So dynamic crate cable supplies. So let's get some cables in here, and so see how like automatically all the behaviors for all our other stuff go okay. So I can see that's the input, so I'm going to connect this through here like this. I have no idea whether this is actually going to work, so it would be very nice if it does. If it doesn't, we can all panic. So yeah, it's working. So wow, okay, so that charged the battery really, really fast, which is really good. We can probably increase the power size of the battery because it shouldn't charge so. And that was, so see, it's getting, that's actually a bug. So because the electricity tick is half, in fact, let's fix that now. So let's save this and let's call it RTG. So let's fix that bug. That is reporting the wrong value because the thread operates on a half-second basis. Oh Oh my god, and my overlay wasn't in the right place. Sean will be really pissed off at me. Um, so let's go into the electronics thread, and I'm really lazy, so I'm going to get it from here. Actually, no, I think it's on battery now I think about it. Here we go, battery. So somewhere here it's updating somewhere in here, probably an update, yeah, which we're going to move this later on. So a lot of this stuff is work in progress. So what we're going to do is we're just actually going to double these actual values. So we are going to divide by the thread. I shouldn't really do this. No. Tick speed, MS. Why don't you like that? Yeah, I see. Last pair added. I'll tidy this up later. For now, I just want it to say the correct amounts. So this should say the correct amounts. Then I think actually, while we're here, I think the battery should not charge that fast. That was because I was charging it from solars. So the battery should store a lot more kilowatt hours than that. Let's just wait. Unity's loading itself up. Oh my god, and my camera's not. You can't see my beautiful, beautiful face. There we go. Yeah, maybe Region, you can post the link to the Stationeers store page on Steam for those who want to get into it. So what we'll actually do is we will commit this work, we'll pull down everyone else's work, we'll build it out, and then I can actually get people in multiplayer coming in. Wow, I guess I hard-coded that. Okay, that's dodgy. So I guess I had that as a static value somewhere here. Yeah, power maximum. So let's just add another order of magnitude on that bad boy, so that it takes more time to. Thanks, Region. So that's the thing. No progress really on shuttles so far. I really tried to focus on rounding out we did a lot of bug fixing. So some huge updates that we'll wait until I give a big update until we start. Planets aren't in yet. Actually, Kevin's working on those at the moment. Yeah. So let's just see if I fix that bug. Oh, you guys are still looking at Visual Studio. You didn't get to see all the cool shenanigans I did. Where are we? There we go. RTG. And the battery. So the battery's taking way longer, and you see these figures are reporting correctly, which is awesome. So now let's play around with our output. So we've got an output and a data. So the data could be controlled by a computer. We might plug a power control computer if we want to have some kind of cool load balancer or stuff like that. So we've got a bunch of stuff in our hands. So I'm going to put some of this. What the hell? Oh. Dean's a moron. I changed the key. I need to remember to change that back. Let's put that in there. So, do we have a wall light? Yes, we do. So to give you an example of how some of the stuff works, these don't use much power, but screw it, we'll put them in. So these two guys are connected, and I'm going to turn them both on. So they're both on, but they've got no power, which is why this is red here. When I do that, they get power. Yay! And you see they're using a very tiny amount. So they're basically using 20 watts at the moment. So yeah, and if I turn this down here, you can see they turn off. So it's all working pretty. And you can see there is a little bit of lag just because of the tick. We could increase the electricity manager's tick thread. And for those like super nerds like me, so down here we actually have our threads, and you can probably see it might be a little bit small. I think actually if I just move that for the moment. And here, Can you see my mouse pointer? I'm not sure you can. That's really annoying. Oh yeah, you can. So in here, there's the, well, that's weird. The mouse pointer is in a different position on my screen. That's so confusing. So in here you can see the tick as it's going through. So that's the room manager thread, the electricity manager thread, and the atmospheric manager thread. So all of those things are on separate threads. And we get a lot of debug information that we can pull out. So if I select this object, you can see that blue thing is the grid square that it inhabits, which is very important when we're dealing with atmospherics and stuff like that. The red stuff is the squares that's taken up with. So that's actually wrong. I should actually increase the size of that so that it takes up more of the stuff. And the yellow things are obviously, because we have two grids, actually we have three technically, as we're going through. So, I can select this and I can see that light is in that square there. Oh, and that reminds me of something else I wanted to do before we started the stream, but let's just save this. So we've got it as a good base to go from. And I accidentally pulled out the window, which is nasty. Unity is so painful sometimes. So what I want to do is I want to make, before I started the stream, to make atmospherics be real, I wanted to make it so that all devices, if they generate power, to provide heat. So I'm actually going to look for, we tried to make everything very event based. No. Okay, so we're going to add in an event here for onAtmosphere tick, which runs on the thread, which comes with its whole bunch of its own problems. But in here, we are actually going to, now I'm just going to borrow off the heater. Which one's the heater? This chap is the heater. So look, so the heater has almost nothing in it because it basically inherits from everything else. So we are going to borrow from that guy. So it's going to see if there's an environment. If the environment's nothing or it's very small, it's not going to do anything. And we're going to have devices convert, I don't know, let's just say half of the amount of power they're using to heat. So used power, so that is get generated power from power cable. So we need to do if and let's just do a very small amount of it. We don't want a huge. Now I don't normally do magic numbers, but for the purpose of the stream, that's called a magic number, just a magic number. So yeah, we shouldn't really have that in there. But what this is going to do very simply is, to show you, I'm pretty proud of the gas mixture and atmosphere system. So what it's actually going to do is it's actually going to take the power that the item is generating, if it is, and in fact we should probably chuck an on-off in here and powered in here, just to save us having to do all those checks if we don't need to. Oh, look at that, we already had one there, so we'll do and these should be ors, or whoops, Dean mashed the keyboard, everybody, or not powered, or power cable equals null, then give up. And that means we can remove this stuff here. So we do these more expensive checks later on. So yeah, that's really, you can see it's just super simple when we're making an object, just really, really fast in order to be able to iterate through. So I made that RTG really quickly, and now I've just made all devices all devices generate a very small amount of heat if they're turned on and they're powered, and they're using power. And actually, that's a good point. We should do this. Power generated equals stat, and we'll do that. We do if power generated is greater than 0. We don't want to be screwing around with the environment if we don't have to. And that's done on the atmospheric thread, so that's all good. This here, so that means it has to deal with only cached values. I think, yes, that gets cached, which is good. So, if we go in, and I think, and this will be a supreme test. Actually, I should probably start from scratch, because a lot of my previous stuff didn't work with no heat in the vacuum at the moment. We will have radiating heat, as so we're working on heat exchange pipes at the moment, because you need to get rid of it. So actually, if I item wall cooler. So the wall cooler is a a wall cooler is whoops. Oh yeah, we got toggleable items finally. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, we added toggleable items, which was really good. So the wall cooler, if I put this down, you can see it actually has a pipe connection in it. And that is because the cooler, when it's turned on, what it does is it doesn't magically make things cooler. It actually removes heat from the environment, and it pumps it into the pipe. So if we go have a look inside the wall cooler in code, this is something I'm very proud of. So if you look in here, it's actually, oh god, Visual Studio. If you look in here, so we're getting the atmosphere, we're checking everything's all good, and then we're actually removing energy based on the cooler from the atmosphere, and we're adding it into the pipe network that it's connected to. And an even more advanced version of the cooler is item kit. What is that? Item kit air conditioner. So in the real game, these won't all be magically creatable. We'll have them properly makeable. But hopefully he'll turn on. Yeah, he will. So this has a waste pipe. It has a input pipe. It has an output pipe and a power and a data. So you're going to be able to connect it all up. I haven't made this require thing yet. But if we go look at it in Visual. Oh god, I wasn't showing you guys. Hold on, I'll do that again. So with this, okay, we're about ready to. We'll have people joining now. I'll have to break and do a little tweet in a second. So you can see the air conditioner has a waste port. It has an input port, and output. So we'll take air in here. This is where it will put waste energy that it's removing, and this is how actual air conditioning works. And then the output. So if we set it won't let me start it, but if we set it to 20 degrees, it will ensure, to the best of its effort, and it will only do a certain amount of energy, it will output air that's at 20 degrees, and it will use the waste pipe to put the bad stuff in. And if there's no pressure in the waste pipe, or not enough, it will actually use some of its air to fill it out. And if I go back to Visual Studio now, you can see with the air conditioner, where are we? Somewhere here, on atmosphere tick. So this is this fill waste. So this is where if it doesn't have enough, oh, it's Hicks. Hey Hicks, you finished DayZ, dude. Like, seriously? Where is it? Hey Simon, could you do me a huge favor? Inside the pantry cupboard, or somewhere in the kitchen, there's a semi-open bottle of sparkling water. Could you grab that for me? So we fill the waste in there, and what it does in the atmosphere tick here, there's probably too much commenting in here. So this hasn't been prepared for the power system yet, but basically it goes through We can add little warnings to it to say there's not enough pressure, and it uses a very standardized system, thanks man, for machines. So all machines have, where are we? If we go look at machines, so this is like a standardized method for input-output machines. We go on machine. There's some standardized behaviors for how machines work as well. So, we put a lot of effort into making it standardized, and you saw how quickly it can roll up. So, what we will do is we will close Visual Studio. We will stop that. We will update the SVN, which hopefully will not break everything. This is being done super YOLO, super live. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to commit my changes to our version repository. I'm going to build up a version of the game. Now I need to go hunt out and find the items we're adding. Hopefully I've added everything. Guys, I'm updating the scene if that's okay. And we'll start the stream proper, and I'll do a good intro to the game and stuff like that. Hopefully I don't break things. Yeah, definitely, Hicks. So we did 28 players with our last playtest, which is a lot, and we had bandwidth. Bandwidth was good. Shin implemented UPnP, so UPnP allows you to host without having to configure your router and stuff like that. So that was very, very useful. And where are we? So I will do a tweet out about it in a second. And then, so I've committed that. Simon, could you go on, do you know how to go on Jenkins?
Do a build.
Yeah. Do a build and then get Zia to deploy it to default. So we'll do a build, and I'll do a build locally just so that while we're waiting for that to deploy. Oh, kitty cat. We have a kitty cat. Can we put the kitty cat on? Can we put Luna on stream?
Yeah.
We'll get Luna. So we have a cat here. I'm gonna turn my light on. And actually the cat is going to be put into the game. Luna is going to be put into the game, so it's going to be pretty cool. But if it's in game, it means it's got to be explodable. So my Visual Studio will be a bit weird because we're building. I'm going to quickly increase the video here. This is Luna. Aww. Say hello, Luna. Hello. Isn't she cute? She's our office kitty catty. Oh, and she's giving me loves. She looks really pissed off. I never pick her up. Yep, no, she's gone. Bye, Luna. So yeah, we're just waiting for it to build. So it's built. Building. Okay, yeah, it's building. Yeah, so while we're doing that, I will do my quick tweet. Will's not here, so I can do what I want. That's for you, Brian. It's for you. I think I can hear Brian groaning from Prague. Okay, so now I want to do windowed. If I do this, oh yeah, um, huh? I got a speech recognizer bug when I built the game out. Weird. Um, let's go load world. Yeah, I'm getting speech recognizer bugs. Okay, it's totally fine. So this is a built-out version of the game now. So bear in mind the frame rate was fine just before, and this one, this is it actually built out now. So we got this off. And while they're getting the game ready, we will just have a bit of a play with some stuff. So I'm going to put some of this stuff in there. Oh crap. Yeah, I forgot. I've got it. When they do the built out, let me know once it's deployed on Steam. Also, Scott, you need to change the tag for players to be not spawnable. We just spawned an astronaut. We're getting a new face soon. Get out of my way, dude. Yeah, we shouldn't have been able to do that. Where are we? So, there's a lot of cool stuff that's come in recently. So, if I chuck this door down, you'll see the door's not powered, so I can't use it. But what I can do is I can get my good old-fashioned trusty crowbar, and I can crowbar that bad boy open like that, which is pretty cool. And let's grab a wrench. At the moment, we're using wrench for cables, which is a bit silly, but we will. I put a note on Peter's desk about doing wire cutters, so. Oh yeah, Peter says he's working on it. He also did broken pipes. The broken pipes look awesome. So, see, now it's powered. So that is powered by our thing here, by our good old battery, which is powered by our RTG, which is awesome. Probably I could add a passive tip on the RTG that tells you how much power it's outputting, and we could make it output less over time, which would be really, really cool. Yeah, so that if the door is locked, it won't allow it. So it would break for that. Once these guys have deployed this build on Steam, I'm going to run it up through Steam, and I will build an Airlock and build some of the other systems and show off the basic atmospheric system. Another cool thing to take a look at that we've been working on. So we've been trying to really up the visual fidelity of a lot of stuff. So you see this is the new welding torch. So if I then get a fuel canister, item gas canister fuel. Son of a bitch. So I can put the fuel canister in the fuel slot there, then I can actually turn this guy on, and you can see that. Now the cool thing is that fuel tank contains a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen to burn. If you had a different mixture rate, the color that welding torch will burn will actually change, which is really cool. And you can actually see, if you look in the, where are we? I'm going to pick them up. You can actually see the temperature in the top right there. It's briefly really hot, even though the pressure is very small. Just because the temperature is actually, the gas is actually heating it up so much, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Another thing I want to show, item duct tape. So I'm actually going to smash into the asteroid. And notice over on the right, there is actually a little tear marker. And that's saying that my suit is damaged. And if you look in the top right, there's a pressure marker to the left of the little person. And you can see that the number below says 23, which is the actual, and the one above it is the target. So it's actually not maintaining the exact target that I want for my thing. And that's because my suit is actually leaking. Oh my god, we've got a gravity situation going on there. We need Sandra Bullock. So I smash into it again. And you can see it's actually starting to leak more and more, and now it's flashing. We're getting a low pressure warning. So what I can do temporarily is I can increase the pressure in my suit. So I'm still leaking air, but I'm getting more than enough stuff that I want. But what I can actually do is I can Scott, your layers are all wrong for your helmet and stuff. Yeah, I'm like activating my helmet and stuff like that. It's hard to find good help. So I'm actually fixing my leak with duct tape now. And this is the first example of a consumable object. The duct tape was a consumable. So I've actually repaired it. Now another cool thing about the suit leaks is that when it was leaking, if the pressure was higher outside than inside, that air would actually be sheared in. And that can make some really problematic issues with if you're in a toxic environment and you tear your suit, you can actually get some of it. I had a bug before where I couldn't figure out why my pressure was rapidly increasing inside, and it's because I had a fire going on in my suit, which was pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for Steam to update. Close down Visual Studio. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, now's a good time to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to go in. Test. Yeah.
For some reason, it doesn't have access to push the default setting.
Okay, I'll do it. So I'm just going to push the game so we use Steam for all our testing now. Any of those who are on the Stationeers test will be able to join it as well. But just try not to screw around, because I'm actually going to try and build something legit. Let's just test that as the latest version. So we are going to go to 1900. So that is deployed. And I am in Steam, and I'm going to force Steam to do an update. Can I give you an office tour? I can't. We need to get a way to have a remote camera would be good. Yeah, so about the very small amount of thrust for soot leaking, that will actually occur. So you will actually be getting a tiny amount of thrust, but it'll be from the atmosphere, from the vector of the. So basically, when the air moves, it creates a vector in the environment and will pull you. But we actually were thinking that we should add a direction. At the moment, it's generalized damage. We want to have it coming from a specific person and stuff like that. Um, right. So I think it's the revision number is 1900, guys. I'm just going to close down Max. Oh God, Peter probably saw the terrible thing I was making. So we're back into Stationeers. So this is a brand new world. So you can see, the asteroid there. We haven't actually got mining in yet. So I'm going to put my duct tape in there. Dynamic crate building supplies. Dynamic crate building supplies. So for those who haven't seen it, we tried to do everything in world interactions. So you can see I'm actually dragging this crate around, and I can drop this off. Yeah, Scott, your things are all wrong. So like I can't see my helmet and shadow and stuff like that. I don't know whether he's there and can he hear me. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to see if I can build an airlock in the first stages of a little station and maybe even some plants. And I'm not going to bother with solars for the moment. I think I showed solars last time anyway. So I'm going to put those in my backpack. Finish these off. And now I'm trying to remember what I want to do. I want to item steel frames because I probably have enough of these. I'm basically going to make a similar shape to what I made before. Previously, people on the stream will remember this from last time. Just clear out a little bit of room. So let's put that in the backpack, get myself some steel sheets. Whoops. Finish this off. Guys, feel free to join the game if you want. Oh man, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. I'm allergic to Brian's bullshit. Do you need to craft all the tools? So at the moment, we really haven't got through that. What we're looking at doing is twofold. So you will manufacture all the stuff. You can do that. And that's, I guess, the mid to late game. Early game, you will go to like a space mall and you'll buy your stuff. And you'll use your shuttle to do that. So you go off in the shuttle, you walk around the space mall, buy the stuff you want, and then you'll fly back to start building.
For some reason we can't see you on the server list.
Weird. I could save and restart. Yeah, I'll save and restart. They can't see me, so we'll call this stream 2. I guess I already had one called stream. Oh, you can see it's saving screenshots now too of what was that. So we've done a lot of work on like stability and stuff like that. We haven't really got respawning working too well in the game at the minute, so it's kind of like don't die. Try joining now. Otherwise, you could try direct connecting. It does take a minute or two to appear, but the guys are trying to join the game. I'll post my IP. I posted in Stationeers if you want to direct connect, guys. So, I'm going to build a Airlock system again. People remember this from last time, and I'm actually going to build roughly the same layout that I did before, just for simplicity. And I'm also going to have pressurization happening inside the room. So here's someone here. Hey, Aaron. And yeah, so we're going to have a pressurization system in here as well. Yeah, just make sure if people join. Oh, I banged my suit. They don't screw around. So now I've got that. Now I should probably put the Airlock in.
None of the player animations the network's owned. Got a screw up.
You broke it.
Well, no, I just forgot to add the animation syncs.
Don't do that, Aaron, guys. Maybe don't come into the stream for the moment. Could someone go tell Aaron not to do that? Yeah, we don't want to put insulation all over it. God damn it. Space trash. Oh, God damn it! I keep damaging myself. We are going to adjust that a little bit. So now I will place a airlock door here. Probably here. Last time we hit it at a different spot. Oh, damn it, there's a material problem there. Item kit airlock. Item kit airlock. And put it there. And dynamic crate building supplies. Dynamic crate. Oh yeah. God damn it. Cable supplies. So. Whoops. Ignore that. Oh, you guys wouldn't have heard that anyway. So now I'm going to be kind of lazy, and I'm going to network everything all together. So you could have your data network on a separate network from the power network, but I just don't care that much. So I'm going to kind of put it all together. And I'm going to... And I'm going to loop that round like this. And this guy here should actually be slightly different. So, oops. I need the wrench. Yeah, feel free to ask questions while I'm doing this. Most people on the stream will have seen this stuff already, so it might be a little on the boring side. yeah, because the power system had changed, I didn't want to risk it being problematic with that. In fact, put it there. So you get pretty good, even though the inventory system's a bit convoluted. Yeah, so it does not play yet. Oh, it's Luna. So where's the console? Where is the console? Oh, it's in this crate, I think. Here we go. So let's build ourselves a console here. Let's build ourselves a console here. I actually don't think I laid this out very well in hindsight. But like, you should really have the door closer to the things. But like I say, the care factor is kind of minimal. At the moment, I just want to get this done. So that's that guy. Let's do this. So that's linked up that console, that console. Just in case we need that. Oh, darn it. Whoops. So yeah, these are all going to be consoles that allow us to control the airlock. So we've linked up all that. We also need to link up these guys here. So probably what I'll do is I'll pull this guy off here. I'm going to put those in case we need to expand stuff later on. I find I've been not expanding it enough. Okay, so we want to go along the wall. Yeah, we are hoping to have chemistry. We don't have that in yet. There is hydroponics. I can demo that and this once we get a working space station. So, there's a lot of stuff involved, and it's not that it's being designed purely as a multiplayer game, but definitely there's going to be huge advantages to basically building the station with your friend. I'm getting real sick of using this head torch. Item road flare. Makes it a bit easier to see. So we've got this linked up. Oh, and I was an idiot, and I put that down there. And we want a gas sensor there, and that there. So to change those options, I'm using my middle mouse wheel, which is how we've got it all working at the moment. We may change some of how this stuff works later on. Item gas sensor. So you can place as many of these gas sensors as you want in the airlock system, but I'm just going to place one for the moment. And so yeah, we just made a significant change to how the characters work. So the characters aren't playing any of the animations at the moment, so they look a bit crappy. So let's put these in here. Circuit board airlock control. Circuit board airlock control. So I'm going to put one of these in each of these, which gives us control over how those circuit boards operate. Item steel sheets. And we can finish these off, and they'll be all like, At the moment, these don't require power, so these will once we link them up to the power system, they'd be blank. In this situation, you wouldn't even be able to see what they say. So we've got that all good. Now we need to lay the pipes to get them over. So item flashing light. We need to place one of these as well, I forgot. So let's put one here. That doesn't require power yet either. So, what do we need to add? We need to add pipes. We need to power it. We've got these all working. So see, that won't turn on because it needs power. Item spray can red. So let's paint this red. And now we've got red light. So you can actually paint damn near everything now. So we can paint that. Item spray can grey. Item spray can grey. It's a real tongue twister. Fine. There we go. And you see, this is a consumable, so you can see down the bottom it's actually using up paint when I was doing that. I want one of these, so I'll put these in here. So that's good. We do probably want to be able to, I'm trying not to bang into stuff so that I don't use up. We do probably want just a normal light in here as well. Normal wall light. So let's grab that. So now we've got everything linked up. We've got our data and our power on the same thing. So you can see some items have a power and data connection together. Others of them have separate ones. And that's so you can do separate networks. Those familiar with Space Station 13 construction will note the same kind of stuff. So that's all good. And I'm pretty happy with that. So now item RTG. Item RTG. Uh-oh. Someone forgot to commit the model. Probably me. Hold, please. Yeah. I blame the stream for that. Dev stream. Yeah, we are doing voice commands. So you'll see whenever I'm selecting stuff, we're doing voice commands, and it was added to make it easier to do stuff for a start. But now we find that actually it's actually a fun part of the game. We're going to try and mix it in a more complex way. Oh, it's Nonov's here. Do the voice controls understand English too? Very funny. Yeah, that Kiwi accent's strong. Okay, so guys, I'm going to do a rebuild and then I'll recommit, so the character animations should be working properly then, which will be good. So because the RTG's not working, I'm just going to drop that down. Oh, I think there was throwing as well. Yeah, so if I hold this down, I'm going to throw the wall light. And notice how, physics, for every force, there's an equal opposite reaction. So I actually threw it, and I went backwards, and I can just drop it. I can just drop it lightly, drop it a little bit more, go back. Yeah, and actually, when you pick it up, you get some of its force too. So it's kind of cool. We've had to do quite a bit of balancing. So while we're waiting for the game to build and deploy, we can carry on and then just tidy it up later. Oh, look at that! Someone got a spray container. So we've got that. We've got that. I think actually we want to item cable coil. We want to add a little bit more cabling in here. So let's go up and do it all on the ceiling. Oh, we also need to lay the pipes. That's going to be a bit of a major. So let's do that there, and let's do that there. We need at least one light in here. I think I'm going to use a 4-way just in case we need to split off later on easier. So that's linked everything up there. Actually, here. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to place a 3-way there. We haven't got the consoles auto-orientating themselves, which is a bit annoying. I mean, it's been a request for ages. So yeah, someone said like about the realism. It's the curious thing is it looks very cutesy, but that's the art style is really more around simplicity. But I think it's actually a lot more detailed than that. So I think it can be quite deceiving in that way. We haven't even started on the pipes yet, and there's been some big atmospheric changes from last time. So we're going to grab that, and I'll have to admin spawn in the other thing. So this is actually a brand new functionality that I didn't show last time. So there's quite a few different types of console now, and so this is item ear control. Wait, circuit board ear control. So this is a new type of circuit board that allows us to do the function of basically an ear alarm in Space Station 13. So it will control these guys inside to do the stuff that we want. So you can see it's like error, nothing's connected, but basically, and neither of those buttons work yet, but we can change the mode in which it's running so that we can get it to do some really cool stuff, which we'll see about later on. Let me just check and see this is done. It's still doing the dedicated server, but I should be able to deploy it to main. I can. And this will have the character animations fixed as well. So we've got all that connected. We're going to put our RTGs in over here. Maybe we should make this room a little bigger. So that we've got enough room to actually do stuff. Like, we can maybe do some hydroponics, something like that. Item steel sheets. So Peter actually did some work on starting to improve the walls as well, so we can actually place down some walls. Item kit wall. So let's place down some walls here. And so even though the UI is a little clunky, it's getting better. Which side? Let's place a window there, and whoops, and a window there. So you can see now, like we showed last time, gravity's turned on in here. Because it's a complete cell. Item glass sheets. Item glass sheet. Now, this is actually sealed. So as I jump around, weird. Scott, your jumping bug's still in gravity. Item duct tape. So for some reason, with the new character, it's screwing up a bit when you move. Scott,
Yeah.
have you seen this? See when I walk around?
Yeah, it bounces you in.
Yeah,
What version of this?
1900.
That might be a bit old.
Anyway, I'll save it. Close the game. Stationeers will update, and we'll be back into it. And it should be pretty good. So I'll read through chat while I'm doing this. Yeah, the simple art style does make it much faster to add new things as well. So it's downloading it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add power to it, and then I can show how the air control system works. So the air control system has two active modes at the moment. One is pressure, which will utilize all the air vents to make sure the pressure is at the right value you want. The second mode is draft. Very similar to Space Station 13. No, new face isn't in yet, Orange Sherbet. Draft will have the ones that were added.
Do you want that Scott's fix to be pushed on a main branch?
On
a beta now?
I pushed the latest to the main anyway, so it'll be good. Cool. So yeah, you guys should be able to get the latest version. It's 1904. Yeah, I can't even remember what I was saying. Yeah, it's on main branch 1904. Yeah, no, it seems fine now. So it's offline. Should say error. Yeah, doesn't matter. It does still do it if you go diagonally. Yeah. Yeah, or sorry, side to side. If you go left or right, it jumps up and down. So item crowbar. So we're gonna peel open this guy and peel open that guy. So now we want to get wall kit. We'll just put a wall in there for the moment, just for simplicity. So now we need to get our item RTG. Item RTG. Oh, yeah, I already had it. Lol. So yay! So for those who joined the Steam earlier, I was showing. Actually, gravity pumped through pipes could be cool. We were thinking about having gravity cabling that you can make outside areas gravity to apply to as a power thing. So these I just made this as a magical item, like magic item for magical power, which I think is fine for the moment. Let's just put there. Item cable coil. So, crap. We got a wrench. So you can see it's made a lot of progress even since the last stream. One of the big areas of progress is in the number of players we can have. Yeah, you guys should be able to join if you want. So I've got 2 people on the server at the moment. Well, me and someone else. So now everything has power. Yay! So our little RTG, we're powering it directly, no battery. We don't need it because it's got the RTG. Hold on, you guys probably can't hear that, but there are some sounds in the game. I'm just going to mute the sounds. There we go. Cool. So we've got power, we've got that. Oh, and I was kind of stupid. Did I even connect that up? Yeah, let me know when you've got a fix for that other thing, Scott. So we've connected all that up. Wait, how was that connected before? Oh, via the bottom. So now these guys should have power. So yep, they have power, which is good. Turn it off. Now we need to lay the pipes. So dynamic crate pipe supplies. Dynamic crate pipe supplies. So let's get, this is our, like, where we attach the tanks, and let's get this. So we deliberately made pipes different. With the cables, you can middle mouse wheel to change them. But with oh yes, so radiation, Johnny oxide radiation definitely will be in. We had it in the prototype. Oh, I'm leaking air. This is probably bad. It's just, I keep banging into stuff because of that bug. Yeah, so you have to fabricate all this stuff. So yeah, radiation's going to be quite a big part of it actually. Item pipe meter. So this is a little gas meter, so we can see how much gas is inside there. Item pipe valve. And we'll put like a hand cranked valve in here so we can turn stuff on and off. And then we'll grab that and probably that. And we'll so we'll put air into these, and then we'll run this through like here maybe, or actually probably, that's not going to work. We're going to have to take a real sort of roundabout way. Yes, the propellant from my backpack would fill it over time if I close that door. This will slowly over time, and the leak, as well as the propellant from my backpack, that will actually add. Probably not going to notice it. Simply, you can kind of see it. So see the temperature is flickering on and off, and it's probably staying on a lot more than normal. So yeah, because this is an enclosed space, it will definitely build up over time. We are going to bring this through here like so. And that, or this will go this way. Get a corner piece again. Whoops. There we go. And so we're getting there, and now we need to do this. And I'll add the piece. I made this design. This design's really bad now I think about it. So let's go along here. Do we even need corners here? No, we don't. So I've run this along the top this time because I found in the last run I did, running along the bottom, because we didn't have a floor down, it meant you're always stumbling over stuff. So that's why I did this one. I might chuck, item pipe straight. And I might chuck a gas meter in here as well, just so that for debugging purposes, if the airlock's not working and we're inside it, we can see if it's because there's no air inside the things. So that should be the pipe system pretty good. It's starting to be just as messy as my bedroom here. So yeah, we can turn on some lights now. I think we wanted to put another light in. Where did I drop that? Did I put that in my backpack? No, I must have dropped it. Oh, I think I was throwing it round. God knows where it is now. Item wall light. So let's chuck another one of these here. Maybe on this side. So we're looking all good. It's all very, very nice. And that's good. Item data disk. Item data disk. So if I throw this in here, so this is showing the configuration of in this. So see how that says outward vent, and that's it. So we've got two outward vents. So I'm going to add a. Oh no, that's not a gas sensor we want. And so because I've added them to the same network, it's kind of bad. Oh, and actually I've really damaged my suit now. Yeah, we've got creepy. It's like the Grudge, creepy atmosphere in the corner. So do we still have a gas sensor in here? No. Item gas sensor. So we need a gas sensor in here as well, so that we know that temperature's maintained. Now realistically, I'd probably, and I'm going to add in a couple. So I want to add in a couple, and we're going to want to label these so that we know what's what. Item hand labeler. Item labeler. Item labeler. So this is going to be external airlock. And this is going to be internal airlock. And this is going to be, I'll just name the airlock ones to, this can be, I don't know why it does that, airlock vent. And this can be named airlock vent as well. So we've got two vents. We'll name this to airlock gas sensor. So this is going to become real important as we're configuring in this. So you can see that's airlock gas sensor. We don't want that. We don't want the airlock vent. We want these two gas sensors, what it's going to use for measuring pressure, and we want these two vents. But with this air control, we want one of them to suck and one of them to release. So I'm going to change one here to take in, and this one will put out. And then it changes in here, its behavior. So the green text is the behavior. So I'm going to add an inward vent. Oh, someone in here. Oh, no. And I'm going to add an outward vent. And what that means is now, so it's telling me, oh, there's no oxygen and the pressure's really low, obviously. But there is actually a little bit of air from what we've been doing running around in my suit leaking and stuff. So now we're going to configure, first of all, we're going to test that this pressure is good, so that's turned off. Dynamic gas canister air. Dynamic gas canister air. So, wrench it in, and look, pressure's gone up. Woohoo! So we'll open this. Pressure's going to go down a little bit as we put air in. And yeah, we got some pressure in there, so it's filling up nicely. I think these are all turned off, which is good. Turn my light off, just make sure everything's good. Now I'm going to configure these. Where did I threw my data disk on the ground, didn't I? It was really stupid. Here we go. It's teeny. So where are we? I'm going to configure this as the main one. So this is special. Other people will have seen this before. So that's going to be set as exterior, interior. Oh, and I'll need to name my consoles. Flashing light, airlock gas sensor. Whoa. Oh yeah, airlock vent. Was there only one vent? Did I only put one vent in the airlock? No, I put two. This is the airlock vent. This one's not added yet. This is a bit glitchy. I don't know why. Maybe it's not connected. Yeah, it is. I'm sure I can't see that in here. Let's get right in close. Whoa, bloop, bloop, bloop. Maybe I don't. I don't think one of them is named properly. Airlock vent. Airlock vent. Uh-oh. Okay, well we're going to have to make it work with just that. I think it's got enough to operate now. Yeah, it does. So we're going to click cycle to interior. It's turned on the light. And it should start releasing, which it is. Ooh. It's pushing me because of the air rushing. So you can see it's much more gentle now. But yeah, the air's pushing me from out here. So you see, once that activates, that will stop. So it's stopped now, and this area was open, so it's lost its pressure. So what we're going to do now is active vent, airlock vent. Yeah, see, it was right there. I don't know. So what we actually want to do as well is here I think we want to add a volume pump, and people will know from Space Station 13 item pipe volume pump. These aren't powered at the moment, thankfully, but basically it will suck everything out of the tank, and no, in fact, let's put it here. No, I can't put it there, can I? Let's put it here. Oh crap, did I get that going the wrong way? I did. I blame you guys. Item drill. Item drill. We got a new drill too. It's not the. It actually takes a battery, but we haven't prepared the battery yet. That's stuck. Cool. So that volume pump turn on, and we'll put this stuff back in. So we'll just turn that on. Oh, is that Aaron? Looks really weird when he's jumping. So that should suck everything out of this. So you can see it's slowly sucking everything out of that tank, which is exactly what we want. And I'll leave the tear in my suit so that we can see what happens with that. I'm looking for my wrench. Once this is completely empty, we'll put down a new container in there. Come on. When you're ready. I should up the volume amount. Where are we? I don't even think that made any difference.
Fixed it.
Cool.
I pushed it as well. Do you want to do the build and stuff?
If you do the build and then just let me know, then I can keep the stream going for as long as possible. Can you hear me, Aaron? Oh, is that Peter? Oh, yeah. Could you take that outside, Peter? So dump that canister. Dynamic gas canister air. So we need a new one. Oh, did you repair me? So Peter repaired my suit. Was damaged. I thought it was a bug. God, where's? Oh, here's a wrench. So I need to position this a bit better. So people will recognize a lot of this stuff in from Space Station 13. So how you wrench the stuff down. So that's gone up. We're sucking that stuff out, and we should have quite a lot of pressure in here. Now what we can do, we've got these two active vents in here. I can set this to pressure mode, and what's happening is these are actually blowing out all air. Whoop, and they're blowing me around a little bit, and the pressure is slowly increasing in here. You'll have to push it through. You might have to jiggle it a bit. Yeah, there you go. You'll have to get me to operate the airlock to open it as well, because it's only operable by inside. So it's nearly good. So it's only very gently. And you can see, if you look on my suit, I've got a small tear. The suit's pressure is actually higher than the target. And that's because air is actually starting to flow into my suit. But my suit's system is trying to lower it. So it's actually sucking air out into my waste tank. So I'm actually going to open my visor so that I'm not fighting with the air in there. Now, so that's the pressurization, which is pretty cool. What I want to show now is a mode that will be familiar to people from Space Station 13, and it is a little aggressive at the moment, but draft. So what's happened is this one is set to vent. See, I can't, and you can see the pressure's a little lower here, and then here the pressure is a little higher, although not much. So basically, we probably needed to pressurize it a little bit more. Maybe we're running out of air. Let me check. We might actually be running out of air. So we've got 3 people online with us at the moment. Ooh, smash. So take that one as well. And we'll spawn this guy in here. So you see a lot of it as an attempt to keep stuff in world. Like, we made a really strong effort to make all the interactions in world. Where is, oh, my wrench is in my hand. It's like my house keys. So this should give us a lot of that. So I'm going to change this to pressure again. We seem to have lost a little bit of air. Here. So now it will pressure stuff up. So you see stuff's getting blown around a little bit. Air's coming from both sides. Hey Scott, the jets are still showing on. Oh no, is that because you're trying to?
We were just talking about that. The line render.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just reopened it again.
Cool.
It's meant to be fixed.
Yeah, assign that to Simon. Yeah, so that's where we're at with there. So this is kind of the cheat power device at the moment. You know, I can add in a battery as well. So we could start growing. I think there will be some CO2, so we can probably try growing. Hydroponics tray. Item kit hydroponics. Item kit hydroponics. Item hydroponic tray. Oh, that's right, hydroponic. That was a bit silly. Yep, move it over the main branch. Let me know when it's good. So I haven't got these requiring water yet, or light, but I think it was item wheat. I think it was wheat. So you can see atmos efficiency is crappy. So we probably need CO2. Temperature efficiency is crappy as well. Maybe it was item corn. No, I can't remember which one it was. Item gas canister carbon dioxide.
Alright, you good to go?
Cool. These are a bit broken at the moment, but if I open that, so I'm releasing some carbon dioxide into the air, and I want to see if that changes it. No. I might need to work on that a little bit. Yeah, need some rainbow weed. So I'm actually stuck in here too. Could someone come to the? Could someone come into the airlock? I'll save it and I'll reload it. So they updated to fix some of the bugs that that we had. The voice commands seem to work pretty well on our team. We are a mixture of Czechs, New Zealanders, we have Americans, so we have lots of different accents at the studio, and it's totally fine. We will do, John Oxide, we will do different sized airlocks. At the moment we have a composite door which is quite small, and yeah, we'll do double airlocks and even massive like doors that your shuttle can come into as you drive it around and stuff like that. I don't think it does, Fluffy. So I'm starting back up. Boom. I probably won't show too much more. Our server's up. It's really annoying. So we've got pressure in there, so I'm going to turn this on again to draft. Often the problems can happen from, whoa, okay, that's weird. Okay, I found a bug there. Oh, oh, okay, I'm going to write that down. So, vent, control. Yep. Needs, what does it need? Serializing. I'm not serializing the save state of the vents, and I need to, so I've wrote myself a little sticky note to do after the stream. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to remove these two. Oh, that's really glitchy. And change these to one to that, and then I'll have to redo it. So, vent, active vent, and that should be drafting now. Yeah, so see how that's drafting? Like if I drop the disk, you'll see what will happen. It might be a little strong, so it fell to the side, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to grab the hand labeler, and I'm actually going to name this console so we don't accidentally add it, and this is called Air Control Console. And I'm going to make slaves to these other consoles. So I'm going to make a slave, not to that one. Airlock vent, there's that other vent. Make slave. So that now should be added. Yeah, so we got that sorted. I think someone was talking about that in stream. So the reason you draft is because you need to control temperature. So you'll actually notice the temperature has increased by 1 degree since we've been doing stuff, and that'll be on the basis of the lights, the humans, and stuff like that as well. So what you'll actually do is you'll cycle the temperature through that system. We could build, in fact, let's do it. Let's build an air conditioner. Let's rip these up. These didn't work out so good. And I can't even remember how to. We should start tidying up this place. This is looking like my bedroom. I'm going to turn it off drafting for the moment. We probably have the things on too high. So I'm just going to turn it on to pressure. So they will maintain the right pressure. So let's grab this and let's rip these guys up.
What? This is what's done with?
Because it's with us too.
Shit.
And I want to build an air conditioner, and I want to do it right here. Right here. Item kit air conditioner. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so don't hate me. Where should we put it? Let's put it here. So what ports do we have? This is input, so we're gonna do like a loop-de-loop with it. So we're gonna go down here. Item straight pipe. Whoops. We don't need that. I think is it a straight pipe? Yep. What's that? Input, yep. So we're gonna input in there. And then we're going to, that's the output. So we're going to grab that. We're going to send it back whence it came. But we're going to volume pump it so we can get it out as fast as possible. Which will be cool. And then, can barely move because there's so much junk around. It's like my desk. So that's, and we'll need a waste because this does a heat exchange. So let's put an analyzer here so we can see the results of it. Cool. Let's turn it on. So it's all good and it doesn't need power, thankfully, at the moment. And so we will set the temperature to 20 degrees. So if we start that, should. Yeah.
Can I push new build?
Sure.
Some changes to it. But it's going to main branch.
Yep. Ah, okay, so that's why it's not working. So see up there. That should have come up with a pressure warning, actually. I don't know why it didn't. Item pipe corner. So this I should have really put a meter on here. Let's click start again. Oh, here we go. So look, so now what it's doing is it's actually transferring and it's cooling the air. And because we've got it set to pressure, we want to set it to draft. So if you notice in the top right, the temperature is 22 degrees. If we now set it to draft, it should take the cool air in and pump out better air. So it might take us a while to notice it. How important are the changes? What were the changes?
Animations so that hands are like when you hold stuff. So
Right.
not
So let's stop this for the moment, and we want to be able to see what's going on in here. So there's shit everywhere. And where's item analyzer? Here we go. So we'll chuck an analyzer in here, and this will just allow us to see what's actually happening as we do this. So you can see the temperature there is 183 Kelvin, and the temperature there is 310. So it's going up as it sucks air out. Did I get that the right way around? Yeah, I did. So honestly, to pump it through, we might need more. We might need more than we have. Yeah. I should probably chuck an analyzer here as well. Let's get the analyzer here. So yeah, it's coming in at 184. Unfortunately, it's only cooling it down a degree. It's probably just not powerful enough. We need to have more of them if we wanted to have a better effect. I can probably jump up the the capabilities of it. We'll try lowering it down even colder and see what it's doing. Yeah, so see that's working. It's managing to cool it right down, which is pretty awesome. So hopefully we'll notice a lowering in temperature as we go. Yes, the size of the room and that is quite small at the moment. So yeah, it should be, and that should be empty. Yep, close that valve. And I would think that we had to have that turned on, right? It's sucking everything into this corner. God damn it. Ah. Maybe I made those a little too powerful. So yeah, so we're still, you see how we're removing energy from the air and plopping it in there, which is pretty awesome. So we're slowly cooling stuff down, but we haven't noticed any difference here, and we'd probably, oh, there we go, went down, just hovering. So we are slowly starting to, yeah, I can see the chat. Sorry, I will add clowns. Yeah. So yeah, so we're starting to cool it down, and that's by putting it at 0. So you need to build a bunch of systems to do stuff. I'm going to give us more light in here. Maybe we could make a battery backup system. Oh, that's getting insufferable. Item data disk. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it to pressure for the moment, just because I'm tired of it throwing me around. What we could do, instead of cooling it down via that, we could actually put a passive vent on, and then it will just start cooling down the room generally, which actually might be a lot better. And we can do that pretty easily. Where are we? Item wrench. Oh no, we've got one. So in order to do that, I'm just going to whip off that. I'm going to chuck this on. No, I'm not going to do that, because someone will actually accidentally overload it, and then we'd end up with heaps of pressure in the room. Item passive vent. Item pipe passive vent. I can't remember what it's called. I haven't used one of these in a while. So this is a passive vent rather than the active one. I think it's called passive vent. Yeah, it just didn't understand me. So I'll chuck one of these guys on. Whoa. Okay, yeah. So there was a lot of pressure built up in that other pipe. So we probably don't want a volume pump there. What we probably want is a, and I've lost my pipe wrench, haven't I? Whoops. It's good, one good way of cleaning up your room, isn't it? We need a drill. Get rid of this. So we want a pump, just a normal pump. So item pipe gas pump. So this one will meet a particular pressure. And I can't see anything. So I'm going to turn on my headlamp. So that's pointed in the correct direction. So that's going to output 1 atmosphere and consistently. And we might go just, oh, not that far above it. No, I've got to hold down Alt. We might go just a bit above it because it's going to be outputting into the room. And now if we turn this on, it should start cooling the room down quite dramatically. Yeah, so see, it's already gone down a degree. So what it's doing is it's actually mixing this air in here, and we should actually notice that that goes down, and that way we're not relying on this system here, and we're not like getting too much air and stuff like that. Okay. I see the back vents is not cooling down. Yeah, so I need to touch it. So see, look, we've already lost a couple of degrees. We've already lost a couple of degrees there. So, I was thinking about, oh my god, this is just such a mess in here. I was thinking about adding a battery backup. Oh, I should show that. I didn't show the conveyors last time. Item conveyor, item kit conveyor, item kit conveyor. So the conveyors are pretty cool. They don't require power at the moment, but you know, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do with them. It's a little drill going along. I don't know why that stopped. It's a bit bad. Haven't actually dealt with these in a while. Huh. Weird. Okay, that's bad. I don't know why that's not working. Simon, do you want to bug up? Conveyors don't seem to be doing what they should. The straight ones just don't seem to be working. Yeah. Corner one was. Then straight one. It just seems to be that small one, and I'm not getting any errors. For science, let us... Oh, and that's busted too. Everything's busted. Yeah, let's get it doing like jumpy jumps. I don't know what's going on. We haven't touched these in a while, so them being a little bit busted is kinda alright. I just wonder what's busted about them. Also, they're picking up. They're defaulting at a real... Oh my god, I've like made a billion stuff. Oh god, yeah, we've cooled the ear down quite a lot. Thank you for reminding me. So now you'll notice it will actually be taking energy, and you can see that it's taking energy out of this little waste pipe. And bear in mind, there's a lot of pressure in that pipe. Later on, that will explode. But for now, we just chucked it in a cheap sort of pipe. So it's actually taking energy out and it's adding it back to the ear because I cooled everything down to 15 degrees. But I'm feeling a little hilarious, so I want to get rid of all this junk. So everybody knows what's coming here. Close. Whoa. I had it on draft, that's why. So now everything should be off. That should be all very good. Where is wrench? So that's one way to clear out the room. Oh god, item duct tape. Item duct tape. So we're starting to die because my thing was ruined. So you see my lungs are starting to get damaged. I don't have oxygen. My screen's starting to go funny. So I'm just repairing myself now. Oh. And my vision will get better now as I start to heal up. Oh, my brain even took a bit of a dump. Holy crap. Oh my god, I'm out of air. I'm out of air. Shit. Item gas canister air. Item fuel. Yeah, that would be frickin' awesome. Oh, I need oxygen. Shit. Whew. I might have permanently damaged my lungs. So I'm going to increase the partial pressure of oxygen so that I'm getting enough... Far out, that was close. Yeah, so I've permanently damaged my lungs. When you're going to try and explosively clean your room, at least, yeah, so it did. Like, look how effective it was. Everything's gone except for one piss event that's stuck over there. So I'm getting better slowly. But it looks like I've taken so much damage to my lungs that even if I increase the partial pressure really high, I'm not repairing them. So, it gives you lots of strategies. So, see, I've increased the partial pressure of my suit really high. So this is 1.3 atmospheres. So if I was working in a dangerous atmosphere and I was worried about the environment, so say there was hydrogen or something like that, I could actually have my partial pressure, or maybe not hydrogen, maybe like chlorine. Sorry, not partial pressure. The pressure of my suit higher than the pressure of the environment. And that would mean that even though my suit might be leaking, it's not going to come into the suit. So now that I've cleaned it up, item wall kit, item kit wall. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, now's a good time to ask. Otherwise, I'll probably come to. Oh, yeah, so you see gravity's turned on again. Getting towards the end of the stream. Item seal sheets. So there's a lot more to it that I haven't covered off on as well. But I'm more than happy to cover off on some of that stuff later on. Heat transfer, actually that's being added at the moment, so I gave that task to Simon. I did most of the work on the atmospheric system, so we're just sort of trying to get other people. Item drill. Get other people working on it as well. Yeah. I'll go try this out. What do you mean error in config? Why error in config? I doubt it. I wonder what happened. Airlock vent. Huh. Airlock gas sensor. Maybe I didn't link up that. Maybe someone unlinked it. Let's try that again. Thank you. Oh, so yeah, see, I've actually got a leak in my tank already. Oh crap. Okay, yeah. So that was really smart, Dean. I didn't pressurize this room, so it was actually getting confused. Where are we? I lost the data disk. Item data disk. Item data disk. So yeah, the game's still a month or two away. We're not really setting a hard and fast time. We want to make sure you can see there's still lots of stuff that kind of doesn't work super well. So we're trying to. I'm going to turn my jetpack on so I can get around. Oops, smash, donk. Yeah, we want to do a lot of stuff to make things work better and stuff like that. I do see there being a need for maintenance shafts. So see, I could start placing down a floor now if I wanted to make it easier to walk around. And actually, that's a really good point. So where is my? I've got a wall kit. It's a good point. I didn't really cover off on this. I'm just so used to it. So the way all the items are designed is so that when you place a wall down, it hides the gubbins, so the wires and stuff like that, but you still see everything else, which we felt was really important. We don't have a dedicated ceiling piece yet, so these all look like walls, which might look a little jarring, but such is life. You'll get the idea. So you can see how that makes it look really neat and tidy. and and hides the pipes and hides the wires, but you still get access to all the stuff. We might provide some centralized servers. I'm just not sure how many copies of the game it will sell. I think we've just run out of air in here. So we're trying to be say again? Prudent, yeah, about it. So it will be designed to be hosted by the community. We may run our own servers as well. It sort of depends. I can also paint all the stuff too. So, item spray can red, item spray can green, item spray can green. Thank you. So, in keeping with the door frames here, I can spray all this stuff. You can even spray these. I can spray these. Green room. You spray pipes. I'm going to run out. At the moment they just disappear, but we'll do something a little flasher with them later. Once you start OCD, I can't stop. The mod kit, so we're still not entirely sure. Shin's doing a little bit of work. Our first workshop integration is going to be with world saves. So you see, I can save this world here. So you'll be able to upload from the screen here. You'll be able to upload the world to Steam. And I will very quickly post a link for the people that are still here to the Stationeers Steam page so people can wishlist it. And then the next step is to do mod kit, but we will have to sort of see how that goes as we carry on. Won't be a lot of that initially. We're going to work with some of the bigger space station mod groups if they want to. Yeah. Rogue Systems, we're trying to sort of make it more like a platform. So I'm very interested in the persistent play. So you see how I'm loading a save in, people spawn back in as their old bodies. But there's nothing going to be stopping anyone making this into Space Station 13, cooperative or like Barrow Trauma. And, we want to see where we can go from that. Yeah. So I think pretty much that's, oh God, look at that. My propellant only has, 0.1 of a kilopascal left. And so I was basically just about to run out of propellant. Yeah. So that was a pretty basic implementation of demonstration of where we're at with a lot of the space station, I nearly said Space Station 13, Stationeers mechanics. And thanks very much. You can go, so I linked the Steam page, we take questions there. There's also a subreddit as well for Stationeers. We don't control it, but we are answering in it. Yeah. Feel free to post the questions on the Steam forums. We are answering a lot of questions in there as well. And in terms of release date, yeah, we're talking no more than months. Cool. Thanks, everybody. So I'll download the VOD and put the VOD up on our YouTube and all that kind of stuff as well, if you missed parts of it. Bye.